Hey guys, I'm gonna record a quick video for you, and it's in the aftermath of the election of Adolf Hitler to aka Donald Trump. Just so you know, I'm liberal, um, but I'm gonna try to present a balanced viewpoint here for anybody who may be a Trump voter. I'm not trying to insult you, but my mom is an actual daughter of a Nazi, so I know what Nazis look like, and Donald Trump is a Nazi. So I'm going to try to present a little bit of historical context and why we should be hopeful right now. So hold on a sec. And I'm probably going to be pausing this video, so there will be some weird jumps because I'm grilling some steak outside because all of my appliances are dead. My microwave is dead. The air fryer is dead. The hot plate is dead. I have nothing left to cook with except a barbecue grill right now. And things are kind of dire. But I'm just going to try to make this video as briefly as possible, but there may be some interruptions because of that. So, aloha in one moment. This is Adam Westish, and I want to present to you my video on why we should be hopeful in the light of the election of Adolf Hitler II, of dumb Adolf Hitler II, Donald the Orange Idiot, and his boss, Vladimir Putin, because now Vladimir Putin has control of America and we're fucked. Hold on a sec. But we should be hopeful. Oh, yeah, and like and subscribe and all that shit. Okay, I'm gonna need another second because the grill is way too cold and things are taking way too long to cook. Oh my god, so many technical issues. Okay, so you can look at the current fight between democracy and totalitarianism, which is, you might look at that as um, Democrats versus Republicans, or America versus Russia, or um, Kamala Harris versus Vladimir Putin slash Trump, who has totally sold out the country to Russia. So the narcissistic abuse is also entering into this equation, in that this is also a classic fight against codependency versus narcissism. So what we have here going on is that narcissists tend to abuse codependents because they are often capable of dominating them, because the codependent is ignorant of what the narcissist is doing. And flying monkeys like to help the narcissist. So what we have is MAGA are the flying monkeys. Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin are the narcissistic personality disorders who think that they're smarter than everybody and deserve to and should control the world. And we have the fact that narcissists also like to take advantage of those who are perceived as weak by society, or either weak or vulnerable. And weak or vulnerable includes women, gays, autistic people, the developmentally disabled or the disabled, and anyone who is considered vulnerable in the herd of normal animal nature. So, and you'll have to excuse me, I could be getting some of this wrong because I'm just skimmed over some psychology videos before watching this, and they were very careful about what aspects of I'll try to post a link to this brilliant educational psychologist and counselor, I think rather, who explains which traits tend to be associated with political leanings and which don't. And I'll probably get some of this wrong, okay? Because this is just brand new information to me. So, as we know, with people who are vulnerable or developmentally disabled, often repetitiously drilling into their heads that they should change doesn't work. You have to give them the patience to change themselves. And on the other hand, with narcissists, you have the concept that they don't think that they have to change. They think that they belong. They belong where they're at, but they don't know who they are. whereas people who are on the ADHD or on the spectrum on the other side tend to know pretty well who they are, but not where they belong in the world. And this is the fundamental fight I see that we're happening right now. Both sides of the political spectrum, now that we're facing the reality, this horrific reality of Vladimir Putin being in charge of the United States as of next year, are facing the thought that both of sides have been lied to. Now, the Republicans are facing the lie that they didn't, or the fact that many of them didn't know about Project 2025 and how this represents a totalitarian takeover of the government, and they want to change their vote. Whereas on the Democratic side, we feel lied to in the fact that we were given way too much hope of winning, and we're expecting to finally elect a woman, and in the country, and we all know very much that the country is women haters and gay haters and everything haters, and Vladimir Putin's propaganda has been very good at painting us in a very bad light, those of us who are on the liberal side of things. And it worked. It worked. And it I know, because I have trans friends who almost would have voted for Trump if they'd had the opportunity and I hadn't educated them. So if it works on a trans person to get them to vote for Donald Trump, it'll work on anybody, right? So both sides feel lied to right now. We should be trying to make peace, even with the Nazis. I'm not saying we should I'm not saying that if you hate a person's political views and you feel like you're going to argue with them, that you should have them be really close to you and then necessarily invite them into your home or be really close friends. But I'm saying you should try to reach out in the peace and the thought that the other side has been lied to too, right? Even if you agree or disagree with the other side. Sorry about my dirty shirt. I've been working and grilling and shit like that. So is have some compassion for the other side, because both sides, as I said, are very disappointed. Those of us who are about to have our rights stripped away by Trumputin, that's what I'll call him. Maybe I'll just call him Trumputin. Those of us who are about to have our rights stripped away on both sides of the political fence are very much in fear of what the future will bring. The end of Social Security will throw thousands of people into instant poverty and will result in thousands of deaths. Not to mention that the lack of abortion access is already resulting in many deaths, tens and twenties and hundreds, and probably soon many more than that deaths. We only hear a few stories here and there, but there's more than what you hear about in the news. The mainstream media cannot be trusted. The oligarchs are winning. The oligarchs have been fighting against democracy since the French Revolution, according to Randy Rhodes. And if you watch 21st Century Suffragettes, they really go into the details. If you watch Hal Sparks, you'll get some more perspective on all the lies. If you watch Boston Bryan, you'll get some amusing breakdowns and some astonishing commentary, both on his show and in the chat, about what's going on, and it's horrific. But I'm not here to present information about any of that. I just want to present a psychological perspective. Now, here's why I think we should have hope. I think that the Democrats knew that they had no chance of winning. I think the Democrats knew that it was way too soon. It was way too liberal to try to elect a woman yet again, which didn't work last time. I mean, Hillary Clinton won the popular vote, but this time around, there's way more lies. There's way more corruption going on. It's probable that Kamala Harris actually did win the popular vote this time, but there's been so many ballots thrown away, so many rules created, so many people knocked off polls that it's just a festival of cheating, and it's disgusting and horrific. Um, and my grandfather warned me about this when I was like 10 years old. So 40 years ago, he already saw all of this coming, and he was actually a pretty conservative guy from Indiana. Um, so I've had perspective on this. Also, like I said, my mom is the daughter of an actual SS Nazi officer who hated the Hitler's regime. He knew it was a big lie. He knew that Hitler was not going to make Austria great again in the 1940s. And when she was born, and the mother, however, did believe in Adolf Hitler. And when we cleaned out her apartment in the 1990s, she still had portraits of Hitler on her bookshelf. She had swastikas all over the place. She had Nazi paraphernalia spread all over. And hold on, I'm going to go check the grill. I'll be right back. Okay, the grill seems to be going okay, but a little bit faster than I thought. So I'm going to be doing some more stopping here in the middle. So the solution to our current situation, I'm sure there are some higher level situations going on, because the world financial system is surely going to collapse. All of the stuff that Republicans accused Democrats of causing, all the the fuckery and the bullshit that they accused us liberals of 4 years ago, is what gave MAGA away, because it's all the stuff that they're doing now, um, as you probably know already, and the psyop of destroying the minds and hearts of the liberal heart, on behalf of Vladimir Putin. It's all well known, so I'm not going to go into that too much. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about the solutions to several broad-based solutions, and you'll probably laugh at them, because they'll sound laughably inadequate. But I'm quite serious, okay, about these solutions. Okay, the first thing we're going to have to do is develop psychological and physical resilience. We're going to have to be stronger for those who have mental health issues, like myself. I have some severe mental health issues, and I'm slowly working on my autism diagnosis, which will take quite a bit of time, which means I don't have my meds, and I won't have them for some time. But this is, of course, deliberate on the part of the system. So you're going to have more compassion for those with disabilities, physical and mental, because they will not be able to handle this sea change towards fascism as well as the rest of us will. Going to have to plant gardens. You're going to need gardens. You're going to have to learn how to hunt, because you will need more food. Food will be less available. Starvation is a common tactic of oligarchs and fascists. But balancing against, now I've been doing that for about 7 or 8 years, because I was forewarned about a lot of this stuff, having been in touch with a Ukrainian hacker from about the year 2000 who told me what Vladimir Putin was doing around 2000, 2001. He was born in Chernobyl and worshipped Putin and told me what Putin was doing. So I've had a lot of forehand. So I have a lot of bananas and sugar cane and sweet potatoes growing. But on the other hand, I have a lot of problems too. I've been starved of resources. I've had money taken away from me. I've had tools taken away from me by narcissistic family and narcissistic people in my life who didn't believe in anything I was saying and called me a Cassandra for talking about abortion rights about 7 or 8 years ago, and all kinds of other challenges, and you're going to have to fight against that. So, but I'm serious. If you can possibly plant a garden, or if you possibly live in an area like we do with a lot of invasive hogs, You got to learn how to hunt or get to know your local hunters so you can start trading stuff for food. But you have a lot going against you in this case, of course, right? Because most people are working too hard. They're too exhausted to actually work on a garden and keep it weeded and fertilized and planted and blah, blah, blah. You're also fighting space. Most people don't have the room for gardens. Most people don't live in high population areas, don't live near the nature, so they don't have, there's just simply no invasives, no animals to kill and eat. There's no room to garden. Most people don't have the time, or they sometimes it's not even legal. Okay, gotta go check the grill again. I'll be right back. Okay, sorry about that. More technical difficulties. My best friend is dying, and although it sounds horrible, I haven't had access to even soap. So anyway, I've had to make do with a lot of things like a broken camera and no soap to clean things with. And so, okay, so anyway, let's go. Okay, next item on the list of resilience in the face of this and solutions is you're going to have to become less reliant on money and more on the gift economy, because the thing is that oligarchs are slaves to their own wealth. So what they do is they attack the poor, because the more wealth, the more money they have, the more resources they have in a capitalistic system. That's why I call it capitalism, because capitalism is just feudalism. There is no equality in capitalism. But anyway, reliance on money. You're going to have to become aware of what's called the gift economy. I'll do a video about that in the future. Right now, I haven't researched it enough to speak at least knowledgeably enough about it. But anyway, you're going to have to reduce your reliance on money. Start making friends, start making associations with people who have the resources that you need, and be forthright about what you're doing. And start building up resources that are not financial. The next item, and this goes almost opposite what I'm saying here, and that is jobs. Most of us on the liberal side, despite what conservatives think, are not lazy. We're just not traditionally prepared to always work. My mental and various other disabilities have prevented me from working a traditional job. So I'm finally feeling, right before the election, I started finally feeling able to go to work again. And so that's what I'm working on. So you're going to have to, if you are capable of working, you're going to have to fight your own habit to not work. You're going to have to become a little less lazy if you are lazy. But like I said, most of us are not lazy, but we're just going to have to fight the instinct to hide in our beds and instead go out there and try and find work. Because while American money is still good, you're going to need the financial resources to compensate for the massive damage to the financial system that Donald and Vladimir Putin are planning. Okay, the next item is that if you're going to have to watch out, especially if you're what's called an unpaid worker in our society. Unpaid workers are usually women and compassionate people who take care of relatives and are not paid for it, mothers and fathers who take care of children and stay at home while the other partner works. Because, again, that's another thing that oligarchs depend on, is they depend on the slavery class, i.e. unpaid workers, and there's an awful lot of us. Now, and then the last item I really had was hope. I don't know, I was watching that horror series From, and this radio burst out in the middle of one of the episodes that Ooh, child, things are gonna get easier. And you're gonna have to listen to some hopeful music. You're gonna have to keep up if you have a religious or spiritual practice. You're definitely going to have to beef yourself up with a lot of encouraging words. You're going to have to beef up your your spiritual armor. If you're not a religious person, beef up your education, and whether that's education in psychology, you're going to need to be more defensive. Um, you know, even if you're like me and you've been physically attacked a lot because of your issues, um, you're going to have to work on your self-defense. And one of the things that I've noticed conservatives is they always think that us liberals are namby-pamby and weak, and I've found that quite the opposite is usually true. They're usually the gravy seals, the meal team six, the big, huge fatsos who think that they're studly because they wear a Chinese hat that says "Make America Great Again." Um, and that's the entirety of my message for today. So, love you guys, and prepare, because get ready for something as bad as the purge. I'm just saying, because they're already planning on building um, FEMA camps. All this. Remember how they accused Obama and Biden of working on FEMA camps to store, people that are unwanted? Well, Donald Trump guys are actually doing it. If you watch the latest episode of 21st Century Suffragettes, they go into it in quite a bit of detail. And I'll post a link of that live show in the live chat below. Aloha and have a great day. Adam Westish. Out. See y'all later.